Thanks, Brian. If you plan on flying out of the McAllen International Airport, you can plan on getting there early. This is because more asylum seekers are waiting on standby for flights. Border Report's Sandra Sanchez has more.
Border airline passengers are advised to check in with your airline's mobile app as soon as possible, up to 24 hours in advance, and arrive at the airport with at least 2 hours before your plane takes off. That's because asylum seekers illegally released by the Department of Homeland Security are waiting on standby for seats. And if you aren't at the boarding gate when agents start to fill empty seats, you could be bumped. That's what happened to Joel Cavazos. He bought tickets to L.A. from McAllen. He says he had trouble checking in on the American Airlines app and even arrived at the airport an hour before his flight. Cavazos says he checked in here with TSA, but by the time he got through the checkpoint, the boarding agent told him he had been bumped from the flight.
No, they weren't polite at all. I mean, the initial response was, "You missed your flight, we gave your ticket to someone else. If you're not here in time, if you don't check in within 45 minutes, you lose your flight."
A spokesperson for American Airlines says passengers should arrive 2 hours early for all U.S. flights and 3 hours early for international flights. United Airlines recommends passengers with bags arrive at least 45 minutes before their flight. Cavazos flies often and is angry at the situation that caused him to miss an important work meeting.
There's been many a times that we show up, 10, 15 minutes before the flight. There's usually no one at our airport. You can kind of skim through security as long as you just have your carry-on. The trick is always to not have any checked luggage. As long as you have your carry-on, you can pretty much make it. It's never been a problem.
He says he wasn't told who took his seat, but Border Patrol agents told us asylum seekers are waiting at the airport day and night to hop on flights.
You can tell who's a migrant and who's not. They have paperwork, they have little folders. You can tell that they're not American per se.
Airlines don't ask the immigration status of passengers. TSA agents check that every passenger has proper government-issued ID to get past the checkpoint. Paperwork is issued by DHS to asylum seekers when they are legally paroled into the U.S. pending their immigration cases. Once they have their paperwork, they are allowed to travel. We're told early morning flights have the most asylum seekers. Airports don't track the number of traveling asylum seekers, but in 2023, 15% more passengers flew out than in of McAllen. 11% more flew out at Harlingen's Valley International Airport in fiscal year 2023. Harlingen's airport director says they advise passengers to arrive an hour before departure. Arrival times vary depending upon the airline, so check the individual website, but it's better to arrive earlier than later. In McAllen, Sandra Sanchez, Border Report.